The reason your KDP ads are not working is because you're making this simple mistake. I'm going to show you exactly what that mistake is right now. Now, how do I know that you're making this mistake? It's because I work with literally hundreds of KDP publishers and they're all making the same Amazon ads mistake. I don't know why. I don't know who taught you this. I don't know where you got this information from, but it seems like everyone is making the same exact mistake. Now, let's say you just run a campaign for your Amazon ads. We're going to say that we're going to give this campaign $100. By the way, if you don't know anything about Amazon ads, this might not make sense for you, but if you have run campaigns before and you've gathered data and all of that, this will make sense. And you're going to see exactly what the mistakes you're making with your campaign. So let's say we run a campaign and we give it $100. This campaign is going to be a keyword campaign, and we're going to have all our keywords that we want to target so we can rank our book, make more sales, and actually make money with KDP. Now, let's say we're going to do a how to draw book. So we're going to have a how to draw book, but here's the thing. This how to draw book is for kids, but you're going to have keywords that are how to draw for kids. Then you're going to have a bunch of other keywords, which are like how to draw for boys. So how to draw for boys ages 8, how to draw for boys ages 8 to 10, easy how to draw book for boys. Just a bunch of keywords for boys. And then you're going to have a bunch of keywords for girls maybe. And then you don't really know which one of these is actually going to work. You don't know which one's more effective for your book. So what do? You say, okay, well, let's separate the keywords for kids and let's separate them for boys and for girls. So here's what we're going to do. Once you run a campaign, you can basically create something called an ad group. So if your campaign is a big folder with everything inside it, you can separate these into ad groups. So here you're going to have one ad group, which is a smaller folder within this folder. And inside these ad groups, you can put your appropriate keywords. So one of it was for kids. So in here, we're going to have all the for kids keywords. And in here, we're going to have all the for boys and for girls keywords. This way, whichever one works better, Amazon's going to start allocating more money towards it. But this is a terrible idea. You never, ever, ever want to have two ad groups inside a campaign. Why is that? Well, by you having two ad groups inside one campaign, you're basically telling Amazon, I don't care about my $100 a day. I'm going to give you $100 a day, spread it however you want. I don't care if you give money to this keywords. I don't care if you give money to these keywords. You can do whatever you want. That's basically what you're telling Amazon if you put two ad groups inside a campaign. Now, you might not actually have two ad groups inside a campaign. Very few people actually have multiple ad groups inside a campaign. So let's just say that you didn't do the mistake of two ad groups. You only had one ad group because you don't ever want to have two ad groups. You're basically giving Amazon all the permission to waste your money. It's better to have two separate campaigns and have ad groups instead of one campaign with two ad groups. So you don't want one campaign, two ad groups. You want two campaigns, one ad group each. That way you have more control over the money you're spending and more control over where the money is going, to what ad group, how much you're spending, what keywords they are, everything. You have 10 times more control. If you have multiple ad groups in a campaign, you're going to be wasting money. You're not going to be allocating your money correctly. Your ads are not going to be as effective. So let's say you fix that mistake and you only have one ad group. Great. Now what? Well, inside this ad group, we get to pick which format we're going to pick. So we don't know which format is going to sell the most. So here's what people do. You probably have your ebook and you have your paperback. If you're a G, then you might have a hardcover version of your book as well. So great. Now you gave Amazon $100 a day for this campaign. Amazon is spending this money towards one ad group, so you know exactly where this money is going. You're not separating it, but you're putting an ebook, a paperback, and a hardcover inside the same ad group. This is a terrible thing to do. Let me explain why. So your ebook has its own ASIN, correct? Correct. Your paperback has a different ASIN. If you don't know what ASIN is simply the number that's associated with your book. It's like a code, an Amazon code for your book. And your hardcover has a different ASIN. Well, each ASIN has its own data. So the ebook version of this ASIN, so the ebook version of your book has its own data, has its own sales data, own indexing data, own ranking data. The paperback version has different set of data, and the hardcover version has a different set of data. So if I'm trying to rank for the keyword, how to draw for boys, this is the keyword I want to rank for. If I run this keyword for these three, if my paperback is already ranking number 2, guess what Amazon's going to do? Since this paperback is already ranking, it's already doing well, it's already high in the search results, you're getting sales and you already have data on this book, Amazon's going to take all your money and push it all towards your paperback. That means your hardcover is barely getting any money. Why? Because it has no data on your hardcover. If your ebook isn't selling all that great, or you haven't made a lot of sales, great. It doesn't have any data for your ebook, so it's not going to start pushing money to your ebook. Now with Amazon ads, the most important thing is for you to have complete control. The more control you have, you know exactly where your money is going. The worst thing you can do is just let Amazon make all the decisions for you. That's like going to McDonald's and saying, oh, just give me a burger. The person's going to ask you, okay, what type of burger do you want? Do you want a burger with meat in? Do you want a vegetarian burger? Do you want a fish burger? What burger do you want? And you're there saying, I just want a burger. Just give me a burger. They give you a burger with fish and you're like, I don't want this burger. It's got fish in it, it's not a burger. Don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense in my mind. So you don't want to mix all your formats in the same ad group, because then Amazon is not going to allocate your money correctly. You're giving up control of your money. So there's two things that you can do. The first thing is to only have one format inside your ad group and then just have multiple campaigns for each format. So I'm going to have one campaign with one ad group and only the ebook, then another campaign with one ad group, only the paperback, and then another campaign, one ad group, only the hardcover. Why? Because that way I know exactly where my money is going. When I want to start allocating more money to the hardcover because it's selling, great. It's so much easier to do it in the campaign if they're separated. If they're together, how am I going to tell Amazon, yo, Amazon, spend more money on the hardcover? Don't spend a lot of money on the ebook because it's not working. You can't do it. You're going to be forced to pause it anyway because it's going to be wasting you money. And I know you know I'm right, because if you have a campaign with multiple formats inside your ad group, you can go inside and see one of them is making way more sales, getting way more clicks than all the other ones, because this is how it works. It will go to the one that has the most amount of data. You want to separate them. Don't keep them all in the same campaign or the same ad group. It makes zero sense. They each have their own data, so you don't want to mix and match. So great, we have our campaign, then we have one ad group inside that campaign, and in that ad group, we're only targeting our paperback, because let's say that's our strongest one. If you're a romance author and then you see that the ebooks are selling way more, great, you might want to target only your ebook. If you have a big budget, you might want to separate the campaigns and see which format works better. There's so many different ways you can go around this. But you don't want to mix all your formats under one ad group. You want to keep it as clean as possible. So then what do most people do? Well, here's what they do. Let's say we have a set of 6 keywords. Keyword 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the keywords that we have. Well, here's the thing. We have 3 match types that we can implement in our ad to see which one works best. We have exact match, we have phrase match, and we have broad match. Which one are we going to test? Well, Barry, we should test all of them to see which one's going to work the best. Perfect. That's great. Some very, very good advice. We should test all of them because we don't know what's going to work best. We're not psychic. We can't see inside the Amazon algorithm. We have no idea. We have to test it. We have to give it money to see which one works best. Now, new publishers or inexperienced publishers are going to hear this and say, well, that's great. That means I'm going to put all my keywords inside here. I'm going to have exact match, keyword 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I want to have phrase match, same keywords, but everything was set in phrase match, and the same keywords, everything's set in broad match. Now here's the thing, this one campaign with the one ad group, with the one format is going to spread out into 6, 12, 18 keywords. There's going to be 18 keywords inside this campaign with 3 different match types. This is probably the worst thing you could possibly do. And so many people do this. So many people do this. I've worked with hundreds of people and almost all of them have made this mistake. They're mixing broad match with exact match with phrase match, all inside the same campaign. Now, when you're new, I understand it because you don't know what's going to work and you want to test it out and you don't want to overwhelm yourself with a bunch of campaigns. So you just mush them all together and hopefully it works. You basically cross your fingers that it's going to work. But here's the thing. Here's exactly what happens behind the scenes, because this is the thing that most of these KDP gurus are not going to tell you. So exact, phrase, and broad actually have their own little algorithm, or the way they look at the words to figure out where to put your book in which positioning and how to rank your book. They have their own algorithm. So let's say the exact match words, this is what it looks like. I'm going to draw it blue inside. Okay, the phrase match are going to be these line ones, and the broad match is just going to be an empty circle. So these are the 3 ways, the 3 little algorithms that Amazon has to figure out where to put your keywords. If you have one campaign, one ad group, one product, and then when it comes to the keywords, Amazon's like, okay, well, I have keyword 1, and I have to figure out the exact match version of keyword 1, the phrase match version of keyword 1, and the broad match version of keyword 1. That's basically like a waiter trying to have 3 trays for 3 different tables. It might be like the waiter might be able to carry 2 trays, but they can't carry a 3rd one. And I know some of the waiters put it here and they have like little plates and everything, and they're gangsters and they know exactly what they're doing. They know how to balance everything on their hands, but they can only carry 2 trays at the same time. You're basically telling Amazon, I want you to carry 3 trays at the same time and go out and serve the people. Well, even if they're carrying the 3 trays, how are they going to put it all on the table? They can't. You're giving Amazon so much. You're confusing Amazon. Amazon has no idea what they're doing, because here's what it looks like to Amazon. You have this keyword here, and then this keyword here, but a different algorithm. This keyword here, different algorithm. This keyword here, different algorithm. This keyword here, different algorithm, different. And you just have a bunch of different keywords with different algorithms attached to them. I don't know if algorithms is the correct word, but different ways of figuring out where to put your keywords. You don't want to mush them all together. Instead, what you want to do is pick your keywords and pick one match type. Doesn't matter which one it is. Pick one match type and stick with that. So let's say we're going to do a broad match. Great. We're going to have our 6 keywords. Keyword 1, keyword 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All these keywords, all these 6 keywords are going to be set only in broad match. And then great. That's it. That's how we create a campaign. So now, if I give $100 to this campaign, guess where that $100 is going to go? You don't even have to guess. You know exactly where it's going. Just from looking at the campaign. You know that it's going to this one ad group. It's not getting split. It's not getting separated. I'm not giving Amazon any control over where I'm spending my money. Then I'm telling Amazon you have no other choice but to spend it all for my paperback. And then I'm telling Amazon you have no other choice but to spend it on these 6 keywords, all of them in broad match. So Amazon only has one algorithm to look at. It's all going to be like this for Amazon. And because they're all the same algorithm, it can start to pick up. It can start to learn from the campaign. Because Amazon ad campaigns have its own mind. They can look at previous data. They get better over time. They learn based on previous data. If you're giving Amazon 2 or 3 different ad groups and then 3 different formats and then 3 different match types, Amazon has no clue what's happening. But if you give Amazon a clear-cut instruction, a super simple funnel to go to, the money is going to get allocated correctly. And guess what you're going to do now? Now you can do another campaign with a different ad group. Again, the paperback. And then this time you're going to have the same keywords that you put here, but they're going to be set to phrase match. So what's that going to do? If I have $100 to spend a day, great. I can spend 50 on this campaign and then 50 on this campaign. These are going to be even campaigns. I know exactly where my money is going here. I know exactly where my money is going here. So if I have the same bids for these, let's say all my bids are 120 for each keyword, and all my bids are 120 for this. Then I let it run for a week, and then I see if you like to measure with ACOS, then we'll just go with ACOS. I never measure with ACOS, but I know a bunch of people like to measure with ACOS. So for you to understand, let's just say this campaign gave us an 80% ACOS and 20 sales, and this campaign got us 52 sales at a 64% ACOS. Which one works better for your book? Phrase match or broad match? Obviously, phrase match. How do you know? It doesn't have any other, it's clear. It's so easy to see. Straight from the campaign view. But guess what? If you have a campaign and then you have 2 ad groups, and then in the ad groups you have 3 different formats, and then in those 3 different formats you have 3 different match types for each one, and then this campaign gives you a 87% ACOS. You don't even know what's working and what's not working. You don't know how to fix it. It's so complicated. The structure is so complicated to go in and fix it and optimize it. You're basically making it as hard as possible for yourself to organize your campaigns, to clearly see what's working and what's not working. So if you want to fix your Amazon ads, you must be super crystal clear with the campaigns you're making. You want to make it as easy as possible for Amazon to understand where to allocate the money, specifically where to allocate the money. So only for the paperback, only in broad match. And then you want to separate your campaigns, because if you separate your campaigns, you have more control. If you have more control, you can optimize better. And then later on, when you're making a bunch of sales, optimization is key. Even if you have a super successful book, if your Amazon ads are messy, then later on when you want to optimize your ads, it's going to be so difficult. I have so many clients come up to me and they're making thousands of dollars a month, but their Amazon ads aren't as good as they want them to be. But guess what? Their ads are extremely messy. This is what their ads look like. I'll show you now. So they come up to me and they show me their campaign. This campaign will have 120% ACOS. And they say, Barry, can you please fix it for me? And I look at the campaign and I see one campaign with 2 ad groups. So they give $20 a day to this campaign. Then what I realize is that this campaign over here is spending $15. This ad group over here is spending $15. And this one's spending $5. And I'm seeing, okay, well, Amazon is splitting your money, so you already lost control of your money. Then this money over here, $15, we're going to see that $3 will go to the ebook and then $12 will go to the paperback. So great. Now it's split the money again. And then from the $12 from the paperback, the exact match might get $2, broad match will get $10, and then phrase match will get $0. Well, great. Now it's splitting the money again. So all this money, you have zero control over it. And they're saying, well, my campaign is 120%. What's wrong with it? And it's so hard for me to say everything is wrong with it. They say, can you fix it? I mean, what am I supposed to fix? Everything is just a big mess. It's the least organized campaign possible. You're giving up all control to Amazon. And when you give control to Amazon, they just spend your money and you end up with super high ACoS, not a lot of sales, and just you're constantly wasting money month after month. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you when it comes to Amazon ads, keep your campaigns organized. I think I missed the D. Keep your campaigns organized. That's it. You must be able to see from the campaign exactly what it is that you need to know yourself. If you keep all your campaigns organized, everything's separated, it doesn't matter if you have a high budget or a low budget. It doesn't matter if you're doing $3 a day or if you're doing thousands of dollars a day. Keep them organized, because then later on, when you want to fix your ads, eliminate what's not working and amplify what's already working, you want to scale, then you won't be able to do it if it's messy like this. How am I supposed to control where the money is going? Like this. You can't. It's very hard for you to make money with your Amazon ads when it looks like this. But you know what's easy? When it looks like this. Campaign, ad group, format, keyword with only one match type. That's it. If I see that this campaign is working and it's got 25% ACoS, guess what? I just go straight to the end, right here, increase the bid. Perfect. Increase the budget. Perfect. I increase the budget, increase the bid. I'm getting shown more for what's already working. If this here is working, how am I going to scale that? I'm going to increase the bid for these. Well, great. That means this ad group has to lose money. So this $5 will have to get allocated over here. So by you increasing this, you're eliminating this. You're losing the testing of this ad group. You want to always separate everything. That's all I can say. Anyway, have a good day. Go out there, make a bunch of money on KDP. That's it.